excuse the mess. I'm moving soon. We're going to have a new studio set up for all this. I'll be very excited. But one of the things I need to commit myself to, and I've said this every single year for the past 2 years, and I haven't done it, is January 12th. I'm committing to it. I got to get on YouTube. I got to record more kind of podcast type things. I'm going to bring that to all of you because you deserve it. You guys have been riding with me, and I really want to beef up my YouTube page. I feel like I'm not utilizing it enough, and I also think the TikTok format for me, I'm kind of getting a little bit constrained and pigeonholed into the type of content I'm making, and I don't want to do that. I want to make sure that it's fresh, that it's fun, and that we continue to engage with the Dodgers because there's a lot to talk about. The Dodgers are an incredibly interesting, fun organization that has a lot going on for it. Shohei Ohtani, obviously, probably the most famous athlete in the world right now. Talked about it a little bit earlier this week, just the fact that his marketing power is just so great. Continues to amaze me, and we're very lucky. I think he also is lucky. I know it's weird to say, but I think he's also lucky to have joined the Dodgers because as far as a global brand goes, the Dodgers are much bigger than the Angels. The fact that we win, of course, helps. And then the organization that Friedman has built really allows us to get a lot of free agents that continue to make us the best. Now, this past week, it came out the Dodgers are the best farm system in baseball, as voted on by other people, not just Dodgers fans or Dodgers employees. So I think one of the things that I'm excited about is as we enter year 3, 4, 5, and beyond for Shohei, we're going to age out of Mookie Betts. We're going to age out of Freddie Freeman. Clayton Kershaw has retired. Like, the old guard is leaving, and it'll be interesting to see how Freeman chooses to replace them. Is it going to be with the young guys in the farm system and keep them within our organization, or are they going to be used as trade pieces for bigger names down the line? And I know you guys know my stance on this. At the end of the day, we need to both win now and build for the future. But when you have young prospects like a Zaire Hope or a Josue De Paula or a Eduardo Quintero, who teams are willing to give up their proven MLB talent for, you got to take a look. Because at the end of the day, the Dodgers are always going to be a team that's looking to optimize for the now because we need to win, especially with Shohei. And I feel like with Dodgers fans, there's a little bit of a gap that I'm seeing as far as how truly special Shohei Ohtani is. Now, stacking the deck does not guarantee you the victory, but definitely helps. And with Shohei Ohtani, I think post-Shohei, we're not going to get another one of those for a long, long time, maybe ever. And for the Dodgers, I think it would be a little bit of a miss if we don't view every single year as a time for us to strategically go all in, quote unquote, go all in to win the World Series. Because Shohei is that special. He is that good. I know there's a lot of consternation around the Dodgers spending. I think there's a lot of Dodgers fans who wish for a more romantic time when we would draft young guys, build them up in our farm system, have them debut with us, win Rookie of the Year, win an MVP like Cody Bellinger. But that's just not where we are as a team right now. I'm not saying that's not where we're ever going to be again, but for right now, the Dodgers really need to keep pushing. And I know it's uncomfortable because I think there are Dodgers fans as well who also see what the Dodgers are doing as quote-unquote buying championships. But without belaboring the argument, even if you were to pay all these players, one, they need to stay healthy, which for the Dodgers has been proven is not the case. Two, they need to perform. And what they earn at the time of signing is not indicative of what's to come. Anthony Rendon, perfect example of this. He just ended his contract with the Angels. They were able to figure out an agreement to end that relationship. At the time, he was amazing. 30 WAR in 7 seasons, just on an absolute tear. And then you don't know what's going to happen after that. You don't know a player's motivation or his health, really. And so for the Dodgers, none of this is guaranteed. And so with that being the case, let's keep going. Let's keep pushing. Let's keep making things uncomfortable. And there's a reality that the lockout is coming. I know people don't want to hear that, but the lockout is definitely coming. And when it comes, we have to be ready. And I think that's what Andrew Friedman is currently doing. He has to try to weigh the pros and cons of really investing heavily into next season. How long is the lockout going to be? If the owners are set on a salary cap, it's going to go for a long, long time. And if the players are set on kind of keeping things as they are because for them financially it has been very lucrative, it's going to last for a very long, long time because both sides have to figure out what they want to give up. And so we can talk about that later. Obviously, as we approach 2026, this is a season that will be happening. It's going to be a lot of really fun baseball. I think for the Dodgers, who they're going to choose to keep on the roster on the 40-man, who they're going to just not include on that, who's going to be in the minor leagues. it's a lot of interesting decisions coming up, and I hope spring ball is able to provide a lot of clarity around that. I think for the Dodgers, we do have a question around age and how we are going to improve without feeling disrespectful towards those who have contributed so heavily towards our success. I think Teoscar Hernandez is somebody that I think most of the fan base continues to trust and believe in, but we saw the defensive deficiencies, and like many people have said, I don't actually think it's an effort issue. I do think Teoscar Hernandez is trying hard. He's just not fast. I think those two things can be true. You can both be trying hard, but not be fast. And I don't want performative hustle. I don't need Teoscar Hernandez to just be quote unquote trying hard to make us feel better. He's got to be smart. And I think there are certain plays in the playoffs that made me question, is he trying a little bit too performatively? I can think about the play against against the Blue Jays, where he tried to go for a ball he should have just let drop in front of him, keep everything in front. He went for it, didn't work out well. Not sure we're going to win that game necessarily. I think that was game 5, but still, that kind of decision making for me is where I would love that to be reined in. Andy Pages, a person that I think a lot of the fan base loves. I'm iffy on only in that I do think Andy Pages is likely to make a poor decision somewhere. You saw he got pulled in the World Series for his offense, made up for it on his defense, but I think there are times when I just question what he's thinking, the base running. And it started in spring training last year. I remember I made a comment on it, people said it's only spring training. And the point is, the way you play in spring training, it doesn't always mean that's how you will be in the regular season, but it points towards just the mentality. And if you're not locked into me, it is indicative of something. So we'll love for Andy Pages to clean that up. I'm not necessarily pro getting rid of him, but if you believe in the hype that is Hope, DePaula, Quintero, Tibbs, Sirota, like we just don't have room, right, for Andy Pages to get a big contract. So is there value in potentially trading him early? I know, again, people don't want to talk about this, but it is out there. So there's a lot of interesting questions, I think, for the Dodgers that as we approach spring training and we start getting back into the swing of things, we will see how all of that flushes out. I think from the pitcher perspective, River Ryan, very, very excited for him. We just have a very full kind of rotation all of a sudden, and injuries pending. Tyler Glasnow, always an injury risk. Blake Snell tends to spend some amount of time on the IL. Shohei Ohtani, how much do we want to just roll the balls out there proverbially and just let him go? Obviously, we have to replace Clayton Kershaw, but Emmett Sheehan is right there. So who is going to be a part of that rotation, and who is going to be playing out of the bullpen, and then who just doesn't have a spot on this roster? Because, again, we are so incredibly loaded, which points towards, again, the idea that I do think we're going to try to consolidate a lot of these individually great pieces for a one really, really good piece as we go for a three-peat that, again, does not happen very often in American sports. And I think when we do have the opportunity for this, we got to go for it. I don't want to be insensitive to those who want the Dodgers to kind of build and build and build, but the reality is we got to do something historic, in my opinion. When you have a chance to go for history, you go for it as much as you can. It doesn't guarantee anything, but if you can't go for it, you got to go for it. When you have a generational player like Shohei Ohtani, you got to go for it. So this is around 9 straight minutes of rambling. I'm going to try to be a little bit more organized and cleaned up, but this is a forcing function for me to just come out here, share my thoughts on the Dodgers. We have 73 days or so to opening day, much less than that for spring training. I'm really excited about it, guys. It's going to be a very fun season. Still a lot of stuff to happen in the offseason. Kyle Tucker, Bo Bichette, where are they going to land? Are the Dodgers in on either of them? Cody Bellinger, where does he end up? And Tarek Skubal, always trade talks going on. We'll see what happens there. A lot of interesting moves, opportunities for the Dodgers. We'll see what happens. Let's go Dodgers.